Welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be sitting here today with Sheree, who is the surface and print designer behind her very beautiful brand, Whimsy Kaleidoscope. And so Sheree, welcome. So excited
Thank
to
you for
chat.
having me.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
So I was checking out your website and I love the sentence that you say, if you're looking for unique and playful designs that make you feel like a sparkly human, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
So fun. So I
Yeah.
definitely felt the sparkle working with your fabric and, even just visiting your Instagram page, which if you don't follow Sheree yet, I'll definitely drop her Instagram handle. You must follow her to check out her beautiful prints. So we're going to dive in today. She has a new fabric collection out. So Sheree, do you want to start by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got started? I'm so curious about what you do and how you bring it to life on fabric.
I feel like it's always such a long backstory, so I'll try and keep it short. But I've always loved making and creating. I feel like I've always been a creative person, but funnily enough, I have had a corporate job for a long time, and slowly, as time has gone on, I sort of just kept being curious and playing. And it got to the point where I just felt like I had to do something creative. And I think I don't even know if I was on Instagram at the time, but I do remember I was following a few different designers and I saw the term surface pattern designer. And I always thought to myself, I used to love we've got Spotlight in Australia. So, which is, yeah.
I'm so jealous.
So I would go there and I would buy lots of different fabrics, and I'd just spend so much time just choosing the ones that I like. And I literally I wouldn't even sew with them. I just love to look at them or have them. And I'd always just wonder how do you get a print onto fabric? I'd never knew. And then I came across the term surface pattern designer. And it sort of just went from there. I did some research and I did I did a diploma. It was a few years ago now. It was probably maybe 5 or 6 years ago in surface pattern design. So we learned the basics of design, and then we learned specifically how to put things into repeat and different types of repeats and different applications. So that really helped. And then from there I just sort of started doing my own thing. I was sharing my work, and at the time, before I knew how to make anything digital, I would just share my paintings and my collages on Instagram. And I probably had 20 followers at the time. So I'm sure no one, if you scroll all the way back, it's still there. I haven't archived any of it. And then, just from there, I just started creating digitally and posting my work. And then, I just sort of found this community of people that were looking for bright, colorful designs to put onto their clothing or accessories. And it just went from there.
That's so cool. I love how it's a combination of being in the, getting the signals, and you were open to getting the signals, seeing the job title and admiring the fabrics, and then actually having a base of the knowledge that allowed you then to just be creative.
Yeah. And I feel like, probably 5, 6 years ago, it was probably a little bit trickier to work out how to put things into, I didn't even have an iPad at the time. I use my iPad Pro all the time now for drawing. But at the time it was just, doing it on Photoshop or Illustrator. And I feel like the resources now that are out there to be able to sort of work out how to put things into repeat, there's so much more information out there now. So it's a little bit easier. But at the time it was just you were literally trying to find a needle in a haystack.
I bet. Yeah. I so loved during Christmas time, you were just doing I could tell they were on your iPad or just coming up with some of the most beautiful designs. And it was so fun just to see the different prints that you were sharing.
Thank you. I always try and share what I'm working on, even if I don't end up posting it. It's always fun for people to see sort of what's going on behind the scenes.
I think that's one of the things that just knowing, when I was sewing up my dress, knowing that you designed the print, it adds another level to the the creation process. It's like, you know, you started it and then it kind of comes down the line and then we get to make beautiful things out of it.
That's it.
It's really, really cool. So you have a new fabric collection, which I was so lucky to get a little sneak peek of. So I received this beautiful, I can't remember, what is the name of this one that I'm wearing?
I've called it Floral Fling for now, but I feel like I'm going to, sometimes I do little competitions to name the print, because I have to name everything so that when I send it to the supplier, like I know what I'm printing. But sometimes I've done, with my last collection, there were 2 designs that I decided to leave it to my followers, because people are just so creative with some of the names, because I get so like, I end up calling things like, sometimes I just date things because I just can't think of a name for something, because I've got so many designs. So this one, I am thinking of putting it to my Instagram followers in the next couple of days for them to be able to name it. So, but for now I'm calling it Floral Fling.
Floral Fling. So I've been, I was watching this Netflix show. It's an Italian series called Luna Park. It's such a cute, like, it's takes place in Rome right after the war, so like the 1950s, and I was really enjoying the costuming of the show, and it was right about the same time that I was sewing this, and it kind of started to remind me of just like this Dolce Vita kind of Italy, like very happy. And so that was kind of how it sort of stood out in my mind. And then making the Essex, which has kind of the frills, just made it feel really like celebration, like a happy. So I think the name that you've given it originally is pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do try. It's so hard to come up with names sometimes, but I do try. Sometimes it's just like polka dot, because that's all I've got.
It's the same. Sometimes like names for things will just kind of come really inspired for me, and then other times it's like I hit a wall.
I listen to a lot of I was just going to say, I listen to a lot of music when I'm drawing and creating design. So sometimes if I'm making something and I'm listening to a certain song, or a certain song pops up a few times, or it might be a little bit inspired by a song, I'll tie in like a song lyric or a song title into the name of the design as well.
That's so cool. Yeah, there's so much inspiration that like we get, like movies and music and like just fabrics, and so much inspiration out there. So
there is so much.
Cool. So there's this fabric, and then you're doing the polka dot I saw on your Instagram. So you did it in mint before, and now for summer you're doing it in the white background.
In the white.
So
beautiful. Thank you. So we have 5, I think there's 5 designs all together. So I've got this one, the floral, and I've still got 3 more that I need to share. So
cool.
I haven't shared those ones yet.
Awesome. Top secret.
So I try and when I do a fabric collection, I do try and come up with at least 3 or 4 designs. Sometimes it gets out of control and there's more, and I have to sort of cull it back, but I always try, and I do find I don't design fabric collections in like the traditional way that a lot of, I guess, like when you go to a fabric store where they'll have their hero print and then their coordinates, and like they'll have a stripe and a polka dot. I feel like most of my prints are probably what you would, sort of call a hero print. But I always try and, I guess, create the ranges in a way that they still work cohesively together. So, whether it be some of the elements might cross over, or the colors will, will coordinate and bring everything together. So that's sort of how I try and make it more of a collection, or there's an underlying theme. Like this collection is probably more geared towards summer, because it's summer here at the moment in Australia. So yeah, so that's sort of how it comes together. But it often I'll start off with just like maybe one design, and like with the last two collections I did, there were two sort of big hero prints that started off, and I was like, yes, I have to do these because I know people will love them. And then I sort of created the other designs then around those prints.
Cool. So it builds out the theme kind of based on the starter ones. That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like your prints make really great statement items. So like you have the blouse, it kind of just becomes like the hero piece even in your on your outfit. That you can pair back to even jeans or another print even, and all kinds of things. But it definitely, they're great for these kind of statement pieces. I even have a sweatshirt that I made a couple years ago in this like kind of orangey salmon. And I was like, oh, I could put the sweatshirt over this, you know, like there's so many ways you can work based on how colorful the pieces are. To kind of work them in, and so fun.
And I found as well that more recently, because this is now my third fabric collection, but with the other two collections there are pieces that from the different collections that also tie in together. And I also, because I license a lot of my work to other brands, I've got other makers that have clothing in some different designs. They also are able to then tie in like accessories, or like so if they've had earrings or headbands and things like that made for other prints, they sort of then find, oh, it also matches with this. So which is really cool, because I do feel like there are specific colors that I do use across most of my work now. So I've got a very specific color palette, and which is great because then you can just literally mix and match. And that's something that I always try and do, is that I don't necessarily create based on, I guess, specific trends. I just do what I love, and then it all still ties in no matter what the season is.
I love that. And you definitely have a signature style, like as a designer for sure, like your Instagram page and your website, and even all of the additional items that you sell on your site that just carry the same spirit and colors and vibe and everything. It's so cool.
Thank you. It's always funny when people say that, because I think it's very hard to see it for yourself until someone, says, oh, there's definitely, like, even the floral, I should show you, I'll grab it. Give me 1 second. There's this print that I have that's up on my website, and I actually drew this, and that's where the floral came from.
Oh, I see
the flowers.
Yes. Oh, that's
so I pulled the flowers from that, and then I made the pattern. That's how it got it sort of inspired by that.
That's so cool. I love that. So that was that like a piece that you created to sell as a printed artwork piece?
Yeah, just as an artwork. Yeah.
That's so cool. So cool. It's fascinating because I feel like this part of like, it's so new to me. I'm like, how does this print get onto the fabric that we sew with? So it's just so cool to see like how these prints come to life. And I don't want to show, but I will say your packaging that the fabric came in, I'll leave the surprising delight to people, was so beautiful and just like such a beautiful touch. So
thank you.
So if how does it work? Like if someone wanted to order a fabric, like walk us through your process. I have actually never, I'm kind of new to oh, that's my dog. Owen is very excited about fabric sitting here in my lap.
So what I usually do, and what I've done with the last two collections, and I guess because it's literally just me, like my brand is run by me. My husband does help with lots of like bits and pieces, but it's just me. So I try and do things that are going to, obviously it's sustainable, and I guess from a practicality perspective as well, it's easy for me to manage. So I do a pre-order. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm sharing all of the prints. So over the next sort of week or two, I'll share all of the designs. And then what I'll usually do before the pre-order opens is I will list the fabric so that people can at least preview it and have a read, and see and have a read of like the fabric bases that are available. I'm happy to share that we've got 3 different types of fabric bases. So I think you ordered the lightweight fabric from memory, which was the sort of like
a poplin maybe.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's like, I think it's
really
100 and yeah, it's like 130 GSM, I think, is roughly, and it's 100% cotton. And I think all of the fabrics are 149 centimeters wide as well. So they're a nice width. So I've got the 3. So I've got the lightweight, the midweight, which is very, very similar to the lightweight, but and this is what I'm wearing at the moment, which is just a bit more, it's got a little bit more structure to it. Like when you feel them side by side, they don't feel too different. But once you start working with it, and I've weighed them before on scales, and there is a difference in weight too. Yeah. So, and then I've got like a cotton canvas too, which is great for like things like tote bags and clutches. Yeah. And so that's so they're the 3, and that can be made into clothing too. Actually, I've had people make overalls and things like that. So yeah, you can use all of the 3 fabrics for clothing, no problems. And yeah, so basically over the next couple of weeks, so the next 2 weeks, I'll be sharing all of the designs. I get really I go a little bit over the top with all of that. It's interesting, my approach. I think because I have worked with a lot of different clothing makers in the past, and I've sort of watched their process, and I sort of take a lot of inspiration from that. So I try and, because I can't sew myself, I try and showcase the fabrics on clothing as much as possible. And then I'll open up for a pre-order. So I think the date, I can't remember what date it is now. I think it's the 20th. I should double check this before I say it. It is the Sunday the 20th is when, I haven't actually announced this, but I'm happy to share.
Cool.
Sunday the 20th we'll be opening up for pre-order, and I leave it open for at least 5 to 6 days. So I'll usually have a set end date. I think this time around I'm going to leave it open till midnight on Saturday the 26th. And then once the pre-order closes, then I order all of the fabric that's been ordered. And then there's roughly a 6 to 8 week, I guess, delivery time between the supplier sending the fabric to me and then me then cutting it all up and shipping it out to all of my customers. Awesome. So it does take a little while, I guess, in that you're ordering something, at the end of February, and you're probably not going to receive it. And international is also a little tricky at the moment too, because there are lots of delays. But within Australia, sort of people would be receiving their fabric, sometime in April. For international, it might be a little bit longer with the shipping timeframes from Australia. But I guess the beauty of all of that is that you get to you'll have fabric that's super unique to you. So
Yeah, Owen is very approving of this.
He's happy.
Yeah. But it's perfect for Northern Hemisphere because we'll get the fabric and still plenty of time for our summer if it takes a little bit longer for things to arrive. I remember when we first started talking about this fabric, I was thinking, February, that seems so far away. But it was such a nice, just nice to know that it was coming, and that I had something really special coming. And then to get to sew it, I think the whole process is really, it's different than going to the local fabric store and buying something that, is on a huge bolt. So that's cool. So
I have had, oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I've had a few international customers that have purchased from me in the past, and actually, thankfully, this time around too. So in the past, I haven't had international shipping set up on my website, but it is set up now. I sorted all of that out.
Cool.
So I'm really, So as long as Australia Post ships to that country, then I'll be able to send it over, which is great. But I've had some people, and I'll be like, oh, I totally forgot that I ordered this, and so they get really happy when it arrives, or when they see on my Instagram that I've packed it up and it's ready to go.
Yeah, it is. It's like sometimes it's nice to have like the delayed gratification too, and then you get to kind of have a surprise later. So
exactly.
Yeah, I love also that that you place the order based on based on the orders, your order based on our orders. So then it's you know that for sure you're going to get it. We don't have to worry about you running out, and then also you don't have to like guess about which is going to be the biggest one or whatever. It's really
exactly.
We should definitely stay tuned to your Instagram for the reveal of the other three prints that are coming.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So I've still got 3 more
excited.
designs. And also I like to encourage people to sign up to my mailing list too, only because I feel like Instagram is so funny these days. And some people, if you're not on it all the time, like I do have people afterwards, even though I've had pre-order open for like 6 days, they'll say, "Oh no, I missed it." I'm just like, oh, I was promoting it for like 2.5 weeks. I don't know how you missed it, but it totally happens. And I know people aren't always on social media either, because, you know, and it's nice to be able to just step away from all of that too sometimes. So yeah, definitely sign up to the mailing list as well, which is on the front page of my website, because I feel like that's a nice long form way as well of me being able to, you know, talk about the fabric and the bases and the designs and just the whole process and the whole ordering process as well. So whereas sometimes that's hard to sort of get into a post.
Yeah, definitely. And it's true. Like sometimes with the algorithm, we kind of miss you miss a post and then it's gone. So I'll definitely be sure to drop in the description box the link to your website so people can go straight there to sign up.
Yeah, perfect.
I think it's so fun too. Like just even with your brand, with the kind of doing these like drops, it's really it's really fun. You know, kind of is a celebration in itself, and it's just been so such an honor to get to participate in it. And I'm going to be sharing photos and
I can't wait
too. So it'll be fun.
I love getting other, you know, makers and sewists involved. I've got I think there's 3 other makers that are going to make some things from some of the different designs too. And as I mentioned, I have a maker who her brand is called Pretty Parcel, and she has licensed a lot of designs for me, but we've been able to become friends, which has been really amazing. We happen to live literally 20 minutes from each other. So she has kindly made clothing for me from all my fabric, or for each of the fabric collections that I've had, so which is really nice.
Well, before we go, I just have to ask you, because I saw on your Instagram that you have a little black pug, and maybe you have more than one.
I have 2 pugs. Yeah, I do.
That's so cool. I used to have a pug named Maggie. She passed away a few years ago. Yeah. And so when I saw that I think it was a sketch or a drawing that I saw of you and your dog. What are their names?
Penny and Spike. So Penny is she's fawn, so she's the fawn one, and Spike is the black pug. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
They're so fun. They're such good little companions, and they've got such big personalities.
Yeah, I know life is better with dogs. It's just something especially when you're creative. And gets me out like for walks when you get in like a creative rut. You can just go for a walk.
Yeah, Spike definitely. Like Penny's a little bit more chill. She's very she's happy to sleep and just snug all day long. But Spike is, I just say that he's like a Labrador stuck in a pug's body, because he has the appetite of a Labrador and he has the energy of one as well. So every night at 5 o'clock he'll come at me and he'll start pouring at me. I want my walk. So he gets me off, away from the computer and out walking at 5 o'clock pretty much every single day.
I love it. They're such special friends.
They definitely are.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share about your process and give us a little insight into your world. And
problems.
I will drop all of your links below for anyone watching who wants to connect with Sheree. Definitely check out her Instagram. It's so inspiring. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button below and check out this video if you love fabric as much as I do. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.